Welcome back, everyone, to Space City X-Files, the last episode of the season of Season 2. It's bittersweet, but we're glad you decided to join us one final time for the season. Last episode, we talked about how the CIA took a keen interest in the research of the mind. Well, of course, they wanted to use it for war purposes. Today, we're going to expound on this idea. Today, we navigate the uncharted territories of the mind, the universe, and the spaces in between them. Today, we embark on an intriguing journey into the depths of the subconscious mind, a realm that lies beyond the reach of our conscious awareness, yet influences every aspect of our lives. This episode promises to be a unique exploration as we blend the empirical with the esoteric, merging the insights of science with the wisdom of spiritual traditions to uncover the mysteries of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind, often depicted as the iceberg's vast, unseen portion beneath the surface, holds the keys to our deepest fears, desires, and dreams. It governs our instincts, habits, and involuntary bodily functions, and it's a treasure trove of creativity, intuition, and inner knowledge. But what happens when we attempt to bridge the gap between the scientific understandings of this hidden realm and the spiritual insights that have been explored by mystics, shamans, and sages throughout all time, right? In today's episode, we delve into the fascinating dynamics of the subconscious mind, examining how it shapes our perceptions, our behaviors, and our known reality. So we'll explore the scientific theories that attempt to map this inner landscape, from the neural pathways that encode our deepest memories to the psychological patterns that govern our responses to the world around us. Alongside this, we'll venture into the spiritual practices that seek to unlock the power of the subconscious mind. That's right, it does have a special power. From ancient meditation techniques to modern manifestations of thought and intention. As we navigate through these discussions, we invite you to open your mind to the possibilities that lie at the intersection of science and spirituality. This journey is not just about understanding the subconscious mind, but about unlocking its potential to transform our lives, heal our bodies, and connect us with the deeper truths of the universe. So let's set sail into the vast expanse of the subconscious with Space City X-Files as your guide. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, a scientist or a spiritual seeker, there's something in this episode for everyone. Join us as we uncover the secret hidden in the depths of our own minds, and perhaps in the process discover more about who we are and the infinite possibilities that await us. Welcome to Space City X-Files, episode 45, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Before we continue our investigation into the inner depths of the subconscious, we'd like to take a moment to express our gratitude to all our listeners. At Space City X-Files, we strive to provide the best possible experience by keeping our episodes free of commercials and ads. We rely on your support to help us grow and reach more people who share our passion for uncovering the mysteries of the great unknown. If you enjoyed today's episode, we kindly request that you take a few minutes to leave us a review on the platform you're listening from. If the platform does not allow for a written review, then a 5-star rating or a social media share would be equally as great. Your feedback is invaluable in spreading awareness about the show and attracting those new listeners that we're looking for. Additionally, if you would like to make a monetary contribution to support the program, you can visit our website and click on the Support Us tab. Or, if you're following along on YouTube, just scan the QR code on the screen at any time to be directed to our donation page. Every penny we receive goes directly towards enhancing the quality of our content and furthering our dream of doing what we love to do full time. We greatly appreciate your consideration and ongoing support. Your involvement ensures that we can continue to deliver thought-provoking episodes like today's over the power of our subconscious mind. Thank you for being a part of Space City X-Files, and we look forward to bringing you more captivating content in the future. This will conclude the announcements. In this segment of Space City X-Files, we delve into the foundations of the subconscious mind, unraveling the complex tapestry that makes up this enigmatic part of our very being. The subconscious mind a term that has intrigued scholars, scientists, and spiritual seekers alike, serves as the silent navigator of our lives, influencing our decisions, our emotions, and our behaviors in ways that we're barely aware of. At its core, the subconscious mind is the repository of all our memories, all of our experiences, our beliefs, and basically the accumulated knowledge that we've amassed from the time we were born until now. It's like an immense database that stores information we're not actively using, but it can be accessed under certain conditions. Unlike the conscious mind, which is focused on our immediate thoughts, decisions, and actions, the subconscious operates below the level of conscious awareness, silently influencing the narrative of our lives. Scientifically, the subconscious mind is recognized for its role in processing vast amounts of information that our conscious mind would be instantly overwhelmed with. And it processes this information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The subconscious mind never takes a day off. Can you believe that? Without tiring out, without breaking, it never takes a day off, and it's working from the day you were born until now. Now, what else can you say about that in this world that works 24 hours a day but never breaks, right? It's in this deep realm where habits are formed and where our emotional and behavioral patterns are set. From a spiritual perspective, the subconscious mind is often seen as the bridge between the physical and the metaphysical, connecting us to a deeper reality beyond our conscious understanding, a reality that is beyond anything that our five senses could ever pick up. It's here that many believe we can tap into our intuition, receive insights from the universe or God. Some will go as far as say that those are the same thing. It's even said that in the depths of this inner realm, we could even manifest our thoughts into reality using the power of our mind. We'll learn more about that in a little bit. Spiritual traditions around the world have developed practices aimed at accessing this part of the mind, from meditation and prayer to rituals and visualization techniques. The interplay between these scientific and spiritual views presents a fascinating glimpse into the subconscious mind's power. It suggests that by understanding and harnessing this part of ourselves, we can unlock new dimensions of healing, creativity, and personal growth. The subconscious mind holds the key to unlocking our potential, guiding us through the unseen forces that shape our lives and connect us to the broader universe. As we explore the foundations of the subconscious mind, we embark on a journey that takes us beyond the limits of our conscious understanding into a world where science and spirituality intersect. This exploration is not just about uncovering the mysteries of the mind, but about discovering new pathways to wellness, fulfillment, and a deeper connection with the cosmos, and really a better understanding about who we are as people. Join us as we continue to unravel the mysteries of the subconscious here on Space City X-Files. After this short break, we'll have a look into the scientific insights of the subconscious mind. Hang on, we'll be right back. In this segment of Space City X-Files, we venture further into our exploration with the dive into the scientific insights into the subconscious mind. Bridging the gap between the known and the unknown, science offers a lens through which we can begin to decipher the mechanisms and impacts of the subconscious on our daily lives. The journey into understanding the subconscious through science is a voyage into the brain's intricate workings, where neuroscience has unveiled some of the mysteries of this hidden realm. Neuroscientists have discovered that the subconscious mind is responsible for processing a staggering 95% of our thoughts and actions, operating beneath the surface of our conscious awareness. This part of our brain is always active, sifting through sensory information, memories, and learned behaviors to influence our decisions and reactions without our explicit control. One of the key scientific insights into the subconscious is its role in decision making. Studies have shown that our subconscious often makes decisions before we are consciously aware of them. This process is facilitated by the brain's ability to quickly assess past experiences and emotions, allowing for rapid responses that our slower, more deliberate conscious mind may take a little bit longer to conclude, right? So we don't have to tell our subconscious to do this. It's automatically doing it. Another significant area of research is the impact of the subconscious on health and well-being. Psychologists have found that subconscious beliefs and emotions can significantly affect our physical health. The field of psychoneuroimmunology, for example, studies how mental states influence the immune system, revealing the deep connection between mind, body, and health, right? So you feel as good as you think you do, right? The power of the subconscious mind extends into the realm of behavioral psychology, where it is understood to be the source of habits and automatic behaviors. By understanding how habits are formed and stored in the subconscious, scientists and therapists work to create interventions that can change deeply ingrained behaviors, offering hope to overcoming addiction, phobias, and negative patterns. The exploration of the subconscious mind through science also touches on the phenomenon of intuition, right? Our intuition. How is it that we just know sometimes that something is right or wrong or dangerous or safe? How is it that we suddenly pick up on these small synchronicities throughout the day that turn out to reveal some large, impactful hidden message? Now, researchers suggest that what we often consider as gut feelings or a hunch are the subconscious mind's rapid processing of information based on past experiences. It's drawing on all these things that you even thought that you forgot about. It's drawing on these experiences, and it's basically using it as an algorithm to come up with a conclusion. And it guides us in ways that the conscious mind basically could never do, right? Or not right away, at least, because it doesn't work as fast as the subconscious. As we delve into the scientific insights, we begin to see the vast potential of the subconscious mind. And it's not just a shadowy undercurrent of our psyche, but it's more like a powerful force that shapes our perceptions, helps us with our decision making, and it even affects our overall well-being. By understanding the scientific underpinnings of the subconscious, we open the door to harness its power, offering new avenues for healing, personal development, and tapping into our latent potential. And the implications of being able to tap into this subconscious spans even further into the esoteric by giving us the ability to tap into the knowledge of the universe, right? So it goes even further than just our bodies. It takes a step into spiritual aspects, right? So this melding of science and the subconscious not only enriches our understanding of the human mind, but like we said, it also bridges the gap to the esoteric, hinting at the profound connections that bind us to the larger mysteries of the universe. If our subconscious mind spends so much time in the realm that holds the secrets of the universe, the realm that we can't see, right? Because we know that realm exists. We live in the 3D world, right? Third dimension. So what about the fourth dimension? What about the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension? Why would we, if we have 1D, so you're looking at a flat paper, 2D, 3D, which we live in, why would we assume that it stops there? It's kind of, it would be kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't really make sense to expect that this is all we can see, so this is all there is. One would have to conclude that it continues into the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimensions, dimensions beyond what we can see. As a matter of fact, science has proven that it does exist, but we just can't understand how it exists, basically, or what it consists of. So we know it's there. We know this hidden realm is there. So if our subconscious is there, existing in this plane of existence, does that imply that our subconscious is aware of the secrets hidden away in those realms? Perhaps our subconscious is more than just a culmination of past experiences from our lifetime. Perhaps our subconscious is a culmination of experiences from the beginning of time until time infinite. Stay tuned as we continue to explore these connections here on Space City X-Files. When we return, we're talking about the other side of the spectrum, the insights of the subconscious in spiritual practices. Hang on, we'll be right back in a few. As we continue our journey through the enigmatic landscape of the subconscious mind on Space City X-Files, we now turn our gaze towards the profound intersection where the subconscious weaves into spiritual practices. This segment explores the timeless wisdom and techniques that various spiritual traditions have employed to engage with and harness the power of the subconscious mind, illuminating its role as a bridge to higher consciousness and a tool for profound personal transformation. Spiritual traditions across the globe, from mystical paths of Sufism to the meditative practices of Buddhism, have long recognized the subconscious mind as a vast reservoir of wisdom and a gateway to the divine. These practices suggest that the subconscious is not just a repository of impulses and automatic functions, but, like we were talking about earlier, a realm, an actual realm, place where the soul connects to the universal truths and the essence of existence, the very essence of it. In the realm of spirituality, the subconscious mind is often seen as the fertile soil where seeds of spiritual growth are planted. Meditation, prayer, visualization, and mantra chanting are practices designed to quiet the subconscious mind, allowing us to delve deeper into our subconscious, right? When you first start meditating, you'll notice that your conscious mind tries to pull you away from the subconscious. And it's because a lot of it has to do with our circadian rhythm, right? We're not supposed to sleep at a certain time, or we're not supposed to have a certain amount of awareness in order to fall asleep. So it's natural during the day, if you were at work or something, you don't want to be falling asleep on the job or when you're driving. So our conscious mind is constantly trying to pull us out of the subconscious area, especially when we don't need to, when it feels like we don't need to be there. Okay. And so when you first start meditating, you're going to have that challenge to overcome. But as you're able to get better at it and perfect the steps, you'll be able to quiet your conscious mind and basically let it know that it's okay to allow this to happen. And then that's when you can really tap into the subconscious state, and that's when the amazing things start happening. These techniques are not merely for relaxation. They are profound tools for transformation, enabling individuals to access inner guidance, heal past traumas, and manifest their desires into reality. Meditation, for example, is a practice embraced by numerous spiritual paths for its ability to bring awareness to the subconscious undercurrents that guide our thoughts and actions. Through meditation, practitioners learn to observe these patterns without attachment, gradually gaining the ability to change them. This process of mindful observation and acceptance opens the door to altering deep-seated beliefs and behaviors, leading to long-lasting personal change. It doesn't mean that it's automatic or a drop in the bucket, because you have to keep working on it, right? Just because you remove something doesn't mean that it can't return. So, but this is a good way to make sure that you can keep the negative feelings that you have, or the things that you really wish that didn't really make up your personality. You can get rid of them and keep them away with these steps. Visualization and affirmation practices leverage the subconscious mind's role in shaping our reality. By focusing on positive images and statements, individuals can imprint new beliefs and attitudes into their subconscious, effectively programming their mindset towards achieving goals, enhancing their well-being, and realizing their spiritual potential. This technique is rooted in the understanding that the subconscious mind plays a crucial role in the law of attraction, where the energy of our thoughts and feelings attracts corresponding experiences and opportunities, right? So you've probably heard people before say like, "Oh, so a man thinks, so shall he be." Well, that's basically what this concept is, and this is going to take a whole new episode. So there's no way that we can cover it all on this one. But when you look at the world, the world that we live in, everything came from an idea. It really boils down to everything came from an idea. To the type of buildings we have, to our technology, even significant historical events that took place, they all spanned from a person's mind. They got the idea, they acted on it, right? And when enough people concentrate on it, or when a person concentrates on something enough, they're able to shape their world, their reality, into making this come true into the physical plane of existence, right? So that's what this idea is saying. If you focus enough and have a clear enough picture in your mind, your thoughts are going to program those images, and those desires are going to program into your subconscious. And you know your subconscious works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? 365 a year. So imagine something constantly working on it, working on your desires, working on what you want to accomplish, even when your conscious mind is not focusing on it. Your subconscious got you, right? It's working in the background, attracting these things, even subtle things that you're not aware of on a subconscious level. It's attracting what you want in your life. And eventually what it does is it manifests it into reality. You end up having what you want before you even realize that it's there, right? It's amazing. So I wish I can get more into it, but we have a whole lot of stuff to get to. But we're going to do another episode about that. It had to be in season 3, but we'll get to it. In the context of spiritual healing, many traditions employ techniques aimed at accessing the subconscious to release emotional blockages and heal psychological wounds. Practices such as shamanic journeying, past life regressions, spiritual counseling are designed to uncover and address the root causes of emotional pain and physical illness that reside in the subconscious, right? And you don't have to have somebody else do this. This is something that you can do. It's called shadow work. So when you get really good at meditating and you're able to get into that the pre-subconscious state, the state right before sleep, which would be like a theta brain wave, you can really start diagnosing the past traumas that you have, and you can really root them out by thinking about them, acknowledging them, and basically putting them to rest. You're forgiving yourself, you're healing, and you're moving on. By bringing these hidden aspects into the light of conscious awareness, individuals can initiate profound healing and great spiritual growth. Furthermore, the exploration of dreams is another avenue through which the spiritual significance of the subconscious mind is acknowledged. Many spiritual traditions view dreams as messages from the subconscious, offering insights, guidance, and warnings. Through dream work, individuals can learn to interpret these messages, gaining access to wisdom and knowledge that can guide their spiritual path. The integration of the subconscious mind into spiritual practices highlights a holistic approach to personal development and enlightenment. By acknowledging the power of the subconscious, these practices offer pathways to transcend the limitations of the conscious mind, connecting us with the divine, and it allows us to unlock the full potential of the human spirit, right? In this exploration of the subconscious and spiritual practices, we've seen how the ancient wisdom of spiritual traditions and the transformative power of their practices illuminate the profound role of the subconscious mind in our journey towards self-discovery, self-realization, our healing, and the connection with the universe. As we continue to navigate the mysteries of the subconscious on Space City X-Files, let us embrace the potential for growth, transformation, and enlightenment that lies within this hidden realm of our being. We'll be right back. As we advance further into our exploration of Space City X-Files, we arrive at a compelling juncture, bridging science and spirituality. This segment delves into the fascinating dialogue between the empirical world of science and the transcendent realm of spirituality, particularly as they converge in understanding the subconscious mind. It's here, at this crossroads, that we uncover the potential for a more profound comprehension of human consciousness and the universe. The endeavor to bridge science and spirituality in the study of the subconscious mind is not about proving one perspective superior to the other, but about recognizing the value that each bring to our understanding of the human experience. Science, with its rigorous methodologies and empirical evidence, offer insight into the workings of the brain and the psychological mechanisms that influence our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Spirituality, on the other hand, provides a broader context for these findings, suggesting that the subconscious mind is not just a byproduct of neural activity, but a gateway to deeper truths and connections with God or the universe. Neuroscience has made incredible strides in mapping the brain and uncovering the processes that underlie subconscious functions. Techniques such as fMRIs, EEGs, have allowed scientists to observe the brain in action, revealing how subconscious thoughts and emotions influence our physical state and behavior. These findings offer a biological basis for phenomena that spiritual traditions have long recognized, such as the impact of meditation on the mind and body. Conversely, spiritual practices, with their emphasis on introspection and inner experience, provide a rich data set for scientific inquiry into the nature of consciousness and the power of belief. Research into the placebo effect, for example, demonstrates how deeply held beliefs in the subconscious mind can lead to tangible changes in health, echoing spiritual teachings about the power of faith and intention. The integration of scientific and spiritual perspectives also shines a light on the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself in response to experiences and thoughts. This concept parallels spiritual notions of transformation and enlightenment, suggests that our conscious efforts can lead to profound changes, not just in our subjective experience, but in the very structure of our brains. Furthermore, the exploration of quantum physics adds even another layer to this bridge, where theories that resonate with mystical descriptions of reality, the interconnectedness of all things, the power of observation to influence outcomes, and the existence of multiple realities are concepts that both quantum physics and various spiritual traditions suggest, blurring the lines between the seen and the unseen, the scientific and the spiritual. In bridging science with spirituality, we find a holistic approach to understanding the subconscious mind, one that honors the complexity of human consciousness and opens new avenues for healing, growth, and exploration. This segment invites us to consider the possibility that the true nature of the subconscious mind, and indeed of reality itself, may lie not in the divide between science and spirituality, but in their convergence. As we continue this journey on Space City X-Files, let us remain open to the insights and revelations that come from marrying the empirical with the esoteric, embracing the full spectrum of human knowledge and experience in our quest to understand the mysteries of the subconscious mind. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Space City X-Files. So before I wrap up this episode with my final thoughts on the topic, I'd like to play you a video from a man named Bruce Lipton. So he really lays out how important the subconscious mind is in our everyday life, in the process of our healing, in the process of our spiritual growth. I think he summarizes well what we talked about here today. His video really helped me gain so much insight, and I think it will do the same for you. It's a quick 10-minute video, but it's packed with truth, so let's have a listen to that right now.
We currently see the world as a physical, mechanical machine. Everything is chemistry and atoms and stuff like that. And it turns out the new understanding, really, which is quantum physics, says the focus shouldn't be on the material things. The focus is on the invisible energy things, which include thought and belief, because it turns out it's the invisible energy that controls the physical world. And this is what quantum physics talk about. They talk about what they call the field. And I say, well, what's the field? Well, they say invisible moving energy that influences the physical world. And I go, well, that definition is the same definition for spirit, invisible moving forces that influence the physical world. So it's interesting that today's modern science is reconnecting us with the ancient history of spirituality, which really says that we are energy beings inhabiting a physical body. Well, if we understand that, we start honoring the energy part, the invisible stuff that we've let go out of the equation, because all we look at is, give me the physical material, give me money, cash, give me things. And it turns out it turns out that it's the energy is more powerful. The invisible stuff is more powerful than the physical stuff. So turning our beliefs around and recognizing our thoughts are powerful elements. Then all of a sudden it says, let's start exercising our thoughts rather than exercising our wallet, let's say, and controlling the world. And this gives an opportunity for all of us, every one of us, because we all have thoughts and we all have this energy, and since thoughts create the science. And this is quantum physics. They talk about that it's consciousness that creates the world. And so we all have to start recognizing we all are conscious, and all collectively our consciousness can change the world. So when you have a lot of people out there saying, oh my God, the world's out of control, I say, yeah, but all you need is a lot of people who know that to say, let's consciously create the different world, and then we're not held victim of the world that we're in, because we can manifest the world that we want. And that's why I get so excited by all the viewers out there, because each viewer out there represents another consciousness that, with all the other consciousness, can change the world. And this is what the evolution is all about. What we're facing is an evolution, not a physical evolution. It's how we relate to each other with our consciousness. So we're all coming together in one giant consciousness called humanity. And this is the evolution we're facing.
Yes. You were explaining in your lecture yesterday that we were going from a church-based, very much model, to then, now science is giving us the truth.
Science has been doing that for 150 years. So we left the church-based model of a spiritual world, entered into the science-based model of a physical world. We played both of those worlds now. And what's the evolution? The evolution says both of those worlds collectively make the world. So it's not just spiritual. It's not just material. You have to bring both of them together. And so now that we travel through the spiritual part of the world with the church running the world, and then the material with the science running the world, we're coming to a closure that says, to understand the world, you have to invoke both the spirit and the matter. And that's why consciousness, when I talk about spirit, is that really our consciousness, our energy, our thoughts. It's not physical, it's energy. And yet science now tells us those thoughts are shaping the physical world. So we can change the world we live in by just changing our thoughts, but that means changing the programming.
Which is in the subconscious. You're saying that 95% of things that happen in our life are coming from the subconscious.
Yeah, and that's the part that people have to wake up to, because a lot of people think, oh, look, my desire is to be successful, have a great relationship, have a great job. I want all these things, and now I go out in the world, and it's like, I'm not getting there. I'm not making it. And it's like, and they get frustrated, and they say, well, it's not me, because my intention is to be successful. And I'm not being successful, so it must be the world is against me. And then all of a sudden I'm a victim of, like, well, this is not the world I wanted. And it turns out, no, it's not the world your conscious mind wanted, but it's the world your subconscious mind has been programmed to create. And the word subconscious, by definition, means below consciousness. So you are creating without being conscious that you are creating this. And this becomes a problem, because it turns out it's not the outside world that's keeping us from succeeding. It's the invisible inside world that we've been programmed with through culture and family to have lost our power. And that's the biggest thing about this propagation of the belief system. This is not new, you know. It's very interesting. The Jesuits, 500 years, the Jesuits of the church, they would boast. They would say, give me a child until it's 6 or 7, and it will belong to the church for the rest of its life. What they knew is what we're talking about in the new biology. The first 6 years of your life is programming. Programming from other people, not your programming, parents, family, community. You as a child are in a hypnotic state for 6 years. Your brain is functioning in a hypnotic state, meaning the first 6 years is download, download, download. And the problem with the download is we're not conscious during that part, which means whatever was downloaded, you didn't filter it with your belief system. You didn't have a belief system. Whatever you heard, saw, or experienced in the first 6 years is a recording, just like this is a tape recording, boom, down in your subconscious mind. And then we find that 95% of our life is actually from the subconscious mind, with only 5% from the conscious. And you say, what's the difference? Conscious mind is you, your spirit, who you are, your wishes, your desires, what you want out of life. Conscious mind. I say, well, you want to be successful? Great. You want a great job? Great. That's all conscious. I say, but you're only using that mind 5% of the time. You're living your life 95% of the time with the programs that you got from other people. So the truth is, you are living other people's lives invisibly, because it's called subconscious, meaning you don't see it. And so when you're creating these behaviors, you yourself don't even know you're doing it. And if your behaviors are not supporting you, then you sabotage yourself without even you knowing you're doing it. And that's where the victim comes in. It's like, oh my God, I want to be successful and I'm not. The world's against me, I'm a victim. It turns out, no, you were programmed not to succeed, and you're engaging the program without you seeing it. So we were sabotaging ourselves without ourselves knowing it. That's why the new biology, I want people to wake up. That's the wonderful thing, because those people out there that have fallen in love, and if you could go back in your mind just for, I want you to go back to that point where you fell in love. I call it the honeymoon period, where you did this. And I ask you a couple of questions. I say, when you were back in that love state, head over heels in love, were you healthy? And it turns out almost everybody says, yes, I exorbitantly healthy. Everything was great. I said, did you have energy? Oh, we had tremendous energy to be active day and night in this love period, in the honeymoon. I go, yeah. And then when I say, how about, was life so much fun that you couldn't wait for the next day to have more of this experience? And the answer was yes, because it was so great. And I go, well, think about it. You created health, you created energy, you created a world that was so beautiful for you when you were in love that you couldn't wait for the next day to have more of this world. And what it turns out is, well, how did our world, which could have been a crazy world before you met this person, then you meet this person, and then the next thing you're in this great honeymoon experience, okay? And then your world today is heaven on earth. Yesterday was hell. Today's heaven on earth because you fell in love. And then what I want people to know is, that was not an accident. That wasn't just a, wow, that just happened. It's like, you created the love experience, and in the process of creating the love experience, you created health for yourself, energy, and you created the world that was so beautiful for you that it was heaven on earth. And why is this important for me to let you know? And basically it said, this was not an accident. This was a creation. And if you understood how you did it, and now we know why, how it happened, and that is, remember, our conventional understanding is we run our lives 95% of the time from our subconscious programming. When you are falling in love, you actually don't go into the subconscious program, because the conscious mind is so excited about being here, it doesn't leave, and that's why the problem most of the time is our mind's thinking. And when the conscious mind's thinking, by definition, it's not paying attention, and that's when the subconscious programs run. When you're in love, the conscious mind doesn't want to go anywhere. It wants to be right here and take in all that love. So this is one time in your life where you have a tendency to stay in the conscious mind. I said, well, what happens when you stay in the conscious mind? The answer was, you created heaven, because you were creating from your wishes and desires. But the moment life gets busy again and your conscious mind starts to travel, then you go to the default, and the default is a subconscious program. But those programs came from your parents, your family, and community, so they're not even your beliefs. So you start living other people's lives. So for me, what does it all mean? And as you express, is like, when we're in love, we create heaven on earth. What if we could learn to stay in our conscious mind, which is called Buddhist mindfulness? It's a practice. It means that you can then have a honeymoon every day for the rest of your life on this planet. Because it was only when we get out of our conscious mind do we return back to the hell on earth again. And that's because we were actually creating that without ourselves even knowing it. When we have a group of people and we do like kinesiology muscle testing, one of the questions that I love to ask, the first question in muscle testing is, get ready to do a muscle test, hold out your arm, and then make a statement, I love myself. The most surprising thing is, I think up to 80% of the audience will not test positive for that belief. And that's because during our childhood development, we were so criticized by our parents and our family, and criticized to do better. Which meant at some point is, well, why are we being criticized? Well, our parents want us to do better, but if our subconscious mind's just recording the criticism and our conscious mind's not there, then our belief of who we are the critical things like, oh, you're not smart enough, you're not lovable enough, you're not, you can't do sports, you don't deserve things. These are what parents say. When we put that down in our subconscious, that becomes our belief system, our subconscious, and since we run our lives 95% of the time from that, that's why when you check, do I love myself, and the answer comes out, well, what kind of childhood language did you hear from your parents? And the issue is that's why 80% of the people cannot test well for loving themselves, because their subconscious never got the program from the parents. Oh, you're the most wonderful, loving child, and you can do anything, and we support you in everything and all that. If you didn't get that, then you got criticism. And if that criticism went in the subconscious mind, then that was recorded and you become the criticism. All of us, we should test that as just, do I love myself? And why is this an issue? If you can't love yourself, then how are you going to find somebody to love you? Because the first thing your psychology would say was, I can't love myself, and this person says they love me. Why would they love me? And I don't even love myself, so they obviously are not a good judge of love, because if they're loving me and I don't love me, then we don't agree on that. And people sabotage themselves because of these subconscious beliefs. So to fall in love, the first thing is you got to love yourself.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that video. I know he talks really fast, but it's all truth. I mean, that video is amazing. If you have to go back and watch it again, I highly recommend you do that. Watch it again, listen to this episode again, because it all makes sense when you really let what this whole thing about the subconscious, when you really let it sink in. It's all been programming, and unfortunately that programming is running, and unless we're very conscious about it, which, as he said, we're only in our conscious state about 5% of the time, it can really influence our lives. It shapes and it molds our lives. The good news is that it's not beyond our control. We can do it. We can rewrite the programming. And that's what I'm going to get into next. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my final thought on today's episode, the power of the subconscious mind. All right. So here's what I come to know in a short period of time. Since I can say that I've personally been set on what I call a spiritual awakening. And I'm going to start this off by saying, okay, so you have to understand that everybody's path is going to be different, right? We all come from different walks of life. We've all been raised differently, and some go down some really windy roads. There's some dark periods at times, but when you're on this path of enlightenment, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, okay? And so some of the things that I say right now may come off a little harsh. I can see how they can maybe be taken as offensive, but I'm not trying to offend anybody with the things that I say in my testament. So I definitely don't mean to do that, but I am speaking from the heart and giving you a personal account of my experience. And so, as I mentioned before a few times in previous shows, my background, I was a Jehovah's Witness for most of my life, around it, raised in it to be the religion, and they have some strict beliefs in their organization. Very good people. Some of the sweetest people you ever meet in your life. If you ever need help, they will not abandon you. They'll be there for you. But it is strict, and they do have rules. And if you don't follow the rules, then you can find yourself on the outside of it. As it is in some other religions, maybe a lot of religions are the same way. They all have their quirks. I think we can all agree on that. When I first became baptized, I felt really happy about the choice that I make, right? I felt really good, like in a really good place. But as time went on, I began to see how some of the inner workings went. It's kind of like a lot of contradictions there. And I started to grow cold, I felt, to organized religion altogether, right? I would just be thinking like all the time, like, this is not the way it was in the Bible. This is not the way Jesus would have done things. He didn't need fancy buildings or donations. He wasn't looking for a specific type of person. You didn't have to do specific types of things in order to gain favor. It just wasn't what it was in the book as it was in real life, from what I was getting from the whole thing. And I don't think I'm alone in that sentiment. And then, so what I started to do was I kind of withdrew a little bit, and I started to look at all the other religions around the world. And it's kind of funny that most of the religions around the world, they all have very similar stories, right? Is it a coincidence? I don't know, but they all have very similar stories. There's a creator, which is the Father. There's the helper to the Father, or basically like the hero of the story, which was in Christianity would be the Son, Jesus. And then there was the unseeable force, which was the Spirit that created all things, that was the worker of the Father, right? They're all tied into the story. And I started seeing that a lot of religions had that, even religions that predated Christianity, right? Even paganism has a lot of those religions or beliefs have very, very similar stories, or a build-up, So I started thinking, was this all a coincidence? And for me, I don't expect everybody to see it the same way, but for me, the answer was no. It was not a coincidence. For me, it was more of a realization that organized religion had to come from somewhere, and for me, it was basically a reflection of nature itself. Okay, these organizations were a reflection of true spiritual nature, and that's why there are so much similarities between all of these different faiths. There is a creator of all things, God, or the universe, whatever you would like to call it. There are heroes or reflections of gods or enlightened ones. That would be us. And then there's the eternal energy that connects all of us, the unseen worker or the unseen force that creates all things, which could be considered the Holy Spirit or our soul, or that makes us us. Because you have to really look at it, who are we? We're not our brains. We're not our attitudes. We're not our thoughts. We're not our memories. All these things that that make up our identity are just things that we've learned and things that have shaped us through our lifetime. Like the man was saying in the video, our subconscious, 95% of the time programmed by other people, has shaped us between who we are, but that's not us. That is not truly us. There's something inside of us that came into us when the spark of life entered us, is what you can say. And that is an energy source that is connected through all Earth, through all the universe. It was from a single source. You can say God, you can say the universe. It came from somewhere, right? And so in my opinion, this is where the idea of the Holy Trinity came from, right? The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, that equals basically, in my opinion, the mind, the body, and the spirit, the energy source inside of us. So what I've come to realize is that the truth is that there's truth, or there's positive ideas. There's basically there's good things in all religions, and they all serve a purpose, and they all help set people on a path to self-awareness, to self-realization and enlightenment. But what I've come to realize is that you don't necessarily have to be religious to have that spiritual connection. It's not religion that gives us that connection. We all have that connection. There's no way that we can be separated from it because we came from it. And so what religion does is it just acts as a bridge, a gateway to that realization, right? And this is where the subconscious mind comes into play. Because once you have that realization, you start realizing that the subconscious, existing in a realm that we cannot see, that is beyond our five senses, is in a realm where this power, this source that's inside of us, that was used to create the universe, they're in the same place where they exist in the same place, right? So as Dr. Lipton said, the subconscious mind has been programmed from birth by our parents, our friends, our family. And even today, whether you realize it or not, you're still being programmed. We all are. We're being programmed daily, subliminally, by ads, by social media, by TV, by our bosses, everybody. It's impressed on our subconscious mind. The good thing is that the subconscious is a power for humans that can make this could be where the idea where they got superhumans from, right? Because it has the power to achieve beyond what is normal, right? That to our known world. So the good thing is that when you become aware of this fact about the subconscious, that you can start doing things to change your programming by putting in new code, as like the man mentioned in the video, like Dr. Lipton mentioned. But as you know, with any operating system to write code, you have to know the language. And I have that key for you. I have the language of your subconscious. Are you ready? The language of your subconscious is meditation. Being able to quiet your subconscious mind, to teach your subconscious mind that it's okay for it not to react while you're awake, tiptoeing on the edge of that subconscious state and that theta state, that it's okay for you to be there. You're doing it on purpose. Meditation is how you get to that state. You ready for the next step? The next step is visualization. Visualizing what you want. Visualizing what you want to change, who you want to be, what you want your life to be made of, who you want in your life, what you want around you. Visualize it. Really learn to focus on it. Our brains, and this is where it comes. Meditation is important while you visualize, because once you can quiet that conscious state and you can focus on one thing, and your conscious mind is not constantly pulling you away from it, because when you start meditating, what you're going to notice is you're going to be sitting there, you're going to be trying to quiet your mind, and you'll be visualizing about what you want. I want that new job position. I really want this job. And while you're visualizing on it, you're going to be getting little things in your head. Did I pay my phone? What was that noise? Did somebody open the door? Did somebody walk in? Is somebody watching me? What's going on outside? What am I going to eat for lunch? All these things start coming into your mind. Meditation, once you get really good at it, you can quiet that. You're still going to hear these noises. You're still going to have, but they don't pull your mind away from what you're focusing on. You acknowledge them, and then they pass by you, right? Once your focus can be that sharp, you can put a picture, you can put a thought, you can put something in your head that you really want to focus on, and you can hold it there. Really hold it there. That's how you impress it into your subconscious, through meditation. All right, you ready for the next key? The next key is repetition. Do this regularly. If you do these things and stick with them, you'll notice miraculous changes in your life and feelings. And the incredible thing, like Dr. Lipton said in his video, is that when the world has progressed enough and there's enough people that understand that this is how you create change, and enough people are able to do this collectively, there'll be miraculous changes in the world. We can finally see those positive changes in the world. There's going to be resistance, but people who are aware of this consciousness and understand that it needs to happen will outweigh the ones that are trying to hold things up, basically. And this is where true peace will come from. All right? I 100% believe that. I know this video was a lot. This episode was a lot. And it's a lot to take in. I kind of threw a lot on you at one time, but we're going to break it down as we continue on with our show in season 3. We're going to be breaking down little pieces like meditation or how to visualize. When's the best time to do this repetition, right? We'll break it down. We'll make it to where it's a whole lot easier to follow. But I also recommend on your own time, if this video inspired you, continue to do your research on it on your own. There's tons of books out there. Dr. Lipton has a ton of videos. He's very good to listen to. I just recently read a book, autobiography of a yogi, Pranamahansa Yogananda. That's an excellent book that goes very deep into. He was India. He's from India, but he gets really deep into basically like his journey, right? And it's so cool to see how he started out, how he progressed, the wonderful people that he came in through his life through along the way. It's a very awesome book. I highly recommend that you read it if you're into these type of things. But on that note, that's going to do it for today's episode, Over the Power of the Subconscious Mind. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you walk away feeling enlightened and motivated to explore this rabbit hole even further. Because honestly, this show just lightly scratched the surface in the mysteries of our subconscious mind and the universe. We still have a lot to dig into. Well, as you know it, this is the last episode of the season for us. We're going to take a short break for a while to reload content and topics for you. But when we return, we're going to have some wonderful news and stories for you. And we're definitely going to continue our descent into the mysteries of our mind and the universe. So I'll say so myself on this, as being this is our last episode, we definitely ended the season on a high note. I hope you agree with that. Before we go, though, we humbly ask that you please just take a few minutes, one more time at the conclusion of the episode, to leave us a short written review. If the platform you listen from does not allow for a written review, then a 5-star rating or a social media share would be equally as great. All of us collectively sharing, commenting, giving likes and reviews will force the algorithms to give us more impressions, placing us in front of new audiences, where in turn we'll find those new listeners who can also share and comment and all that good stuff. Can't thank you enough for your assistance in this matter. And yeah, man, today has been a blast. We thank you all so much for supporting us this season. Be on the lookout for our Strange Happenings short story form that will be coming out randomly during our break. But they also have some very good topics too. So we hope you'll join us and listen to those. And again, thank you all. We'll miss you very much while we're away. Can't wait to join you again for season 3. Until we meet again, this is Rick on behalf of the Space City X-Files telling you to keep questioning, keep listening, and keep exploring. Love you all. Take care.
Thank you for listening to Space City X-Files. See you next season.